some of the logistical considerations that you would need to be looking at would be how much money you have. You probably need to have at least 2 months, 3 months, perhaps more, saved up to be able to live, and that's to be able to live before you find a job if you're going overseas without a job. If you are going with a job, then you're not likely to get paid until at least a month, perhaps 6 weeks afterwards. And for example, bond or deposit on a rental accommodation in London is between 6 and 8 weeks. So that's sometimes between £1,200 and £1,500, perhaps more if you've got a nice flat. And so if you don't have and if that's the only amount that you've got saved and something you can't eat, then you're stuffed. I think also knowing people who are over there, so who are the networks that you've got over in the place that you're going to? Who can you ask for help? How can you have that support? Because moving over to a different country can be very lonely if you don't have those people. And for me, music is a really, really big part of that. So when I moved over, I had already researched and found an orchestra that I wanted to go and rehearse in like 2 days after I had arrived, because that's just, I'm that type of person. So I wouldn't necessarily say you need to have it 2 days after you arrive, it could be a month afterwards. But I've also been in 3 different choirs since I've been in London, and I have a hell of a lot of friends through those areas. So it's being able to work out how you can create your own community. Visas, make sure you have it, make sure it's working. You will get thrown out. Like in the UK, they've cracked down very, very much so on non-European settlements. So anyone coming from Australia needs to make sure they've got a working visa. And then at the moment, you've got a youth mobility scheme visa, which is 2 years work rights visa. Then if you wanted to stay on, how are you going to be in with a business that's willing to support you and then go through the process of then sponsoring you? So that's a completely different thing altogether, especially if you haven't studied here or if you don't have ancestry through the visa programs. Money, visa, people who know, a place to sleep, very, very simple. Where are you going to stay on the first night you get here? You might have a hostel, the place that you might be working with might have put you up, but again, if you have got friends over here, where can you stay? And that's something where perhaps the alumni community can work out, because they'll know people who are over here. So if you email them and say, look, I'm looking for help, is there something that how can I connect with through the alumni community, then the place that you're going could be a great way of doing it.
I think what I've learnt about myself is that I'm probably more resilient than I thought when things don't really go my way. So there's, a lot of bureaucratic things you have to do when you get set up here. Like you've got to get your insurance number, you've got to set up your phone account, you've got to find somewhere to live. And, that can all be a bit overwhelming, and it all takes a lot of time because it's all done by post here. And, sometimes it's easy to get a bit beaten down and feel like it's all too hard and maybe I should just go home, or, oh, it's so expensive here, maybe I should just go home. But, when you can sort of, break it down and sort of consider the pros and cons and be more of an economist about it, I think then you can, I think I've just built more resilience and that's been really good. And more confidence as well as a person, because when you're in a new city and you don't know people, you've got to really put yourself out there to talk to everyone and make friendships and relationships. And so I think I've built myself more confidence and ability to network and more resilience.
When moving over to the UK or thinking about moving overseas, I think it's really important to consider a lot of different factors. I mean, it's important to think about the cultural differences. For instance, in the UK, people are a lot more polite and a little bit more reserved, and they don't necessarily get to the point like we may in our culture. So it's important to consider how you come across to other people and how maybe you need to change your communication style to suit that culture. It's also important to think about really what is that city known for. For instance, London is really known for being a career hub and really excelling people's careers if you're willing to put in the work. But you have to think about the negative side of that, in that they will expect a lot from you because there are so many other people that are willing to do it, and really have to think about whether you're willing to do that as a person as well.